What's up, Williamsburg? I'm your host, Gabrielle Montrond, and today I'm sitting down with the owner of Custom Made Fitness, Frank Rosalie. How are you doing today?
Good. How's everything?
Fantastic. So I have to ask,
Right.
What inspired you to open Custom Made Fitness?
Well, Custom Made Fitness is a new name. Prior to Custom Made Fitness, it was a different name called Fitness Together, which was a franchise. So when my franchise agreement expired this past year, I wanted to expand under my own name. So I didn't know what was a good name to come up with. So one of my clients came up, why do you call it Custom Made Fitness? And the reason that is because of the way we design our programs at CMF, Custom Made Fitness. It's about the individual. Okay? Everybody is a different person. So if you came in for information or you became a client or another person came in to become a client, everybody has different needs and different goals. So I wouldn't be able to give you the same type of program that I would give to, say, another person.
Right.
So each person is customized according to what they want to be today at point A versus point B down the road. So that's what makes me different from like other establishments because, as you can see, we're not a gym. It's small,
absolutely.
It's very private. And when somebody becomes a client, they're with me as a trainer and owner. So it's really more about your needs and what your wants are.
Okay.
And that's why the name Custom Made Fitness actually describes what we do here.
Okay. So how exactly does your business work? Does a customer just come in and tell you their needs and you tailor a program to them, or?
Well, what happens is we usually have either a call-in or walk-in.
Okay.
Now, if I get a call-in, I'll get the name and I ask them, how do you hear about Custom Made Fitness? And they usually will tell me. And what I want them, I want to come in for like a 10 to 15 minute consult. I want to see the person, like I'm sitting next to you. I want to see you in person, and I want to see why you called me. What are your needs? Okay. I want to get a little brief history of the exercise history. I want to see, more importantly, your commitment level.
Right.
If I sense any weakness in the commitment level, I say, thanks for calling me and everything, but right now I don't think it works for you. Usually I would direct them to a gym. Okay, here I'm looking for commitment. I'd rather have maybe 30 strong clients that are committed versus 50 to 60 that's going to come in maybe once a week and eventually quit.
Right.
So usually at the consult, it's really a question answer. At that time, they're going to ask me questions about my credentials, what type of programs I have, and then I'll start asking them, so I start drilling a little deeper of the commitment again. If I got to walk in, they sign a walk-in form, and then I set up a consult again, same thing, face-to-face, and see where we stand.
Okay. All right, so that's fairly simple.
It is simple, but a lot of times people are not committed. They want to do something, but then after we discuss what's going to entail, they back off. Right. And that's the most frustrating part on my end, because as an owner trainer, when somebody tells you, "Thank you, Frank, you actually saved my life," that's strong stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's strong stuff. And it's until you actually feel the difference on the inside and see the transformation on the outside, then you believe in the so-called product. Okay, in personal training, you're not given a book to hold. Right. It's intangible. You haven't seen anything yet until about 3 to 4 weeks later, and you say, "Wow, I start seeing some results."
I understand that you've just started a lifestyle coaching program. Can you tell me exactly what that entails?
Yes, I started that the last couple of months. I've been certified for the last 5 years. Okay. At that time, it was called Lifestyle Weight Management Consultant, but now it's called Health Coach. Okay. Today, the epidemic of obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, and people who just don't plain exercise is on a climb. A lot of people, they want to do something, but they don't know how to start. Or they had a bad experience. They quit. So this is where I come in, that instead of doing the exercise part, let's try this behavioral science, it's called. I'll sit down with you, and we're going to see what's your bad habits. Small changes equals a big change.
Right.
And once we do that one-on-one in a private setting, either here or on the phone, then we go into the general nutritional part. Then stage 3 is the actual physical training. But the most important step is the mental part.
Right.
Most people, they're mixed up. They don't know how to start. They have really bad habits. So it's my job is that we're going to sit together. I'm the coach. I'm going to get you from here to here, but we're going to do this together.
Right.
And it helps a lot of people because they feel more comfortable with someone like me than versus going to, say, a friend or a relative that really don't have any background in this. And this is where the chaos comes in. So this is something that I shout out now the last couple of months as a new product in custom-made fitness.
Okay. Well, you seem very passionate about, your business and being healthy and nutrition. So when exactly did you become interested in that subject?
Well, going back, it's really embarrassing to say, I was never into exercise.
Oh.
I mean, I was so bad that I had to go to summer school for gym. But what it got me started was when I got my first office job out of college. At that time, I was 22, 23. And the only exercise I did at that time was baseball. Okay. So working in an office for the first couple of months, I seen people like my age, maybe 10 years older than me, and they looked out of shape. They looked a lot older. And at that time, I didn't want to get like that.
Right.
So I had no formal training. Back then, there was a magazine called Muscle and Fitness by Joe Weider. And I started buying that magazine, and it was like almost the Bible of like nutrition, exercise. So I self-taught myself about eating right, exercising. And from there, I just took off. And then when people used to come to me and asking me, Frank, can you just draw me up a program? Can you look at my food journal? And that started planting the seeds of maybe I should be doing this years down the road. But then years went by, 20, 25 years later, when I got laid off from my job down on Wall Street, I was bouncing from one job to another. And then my wife said, "You ever think about becoming a personal trainer?" And I said, "What do you mean personal trainer? Where do you get that from, So I started looking into it. I didn't know anything about personal training. I was going on these interviews to these gyms in South Jersey. I didn't like these gyms. I said, if I got hired, I wouldn't be able to stay here because it was just too much noise, too much chaos.
Right.
I didn't know who was a client, who was a trainer. And I had a certification that I did online. Again, I didn't know anything about certifications until a gentleman sat down with me and said, Frank, if you want to do this for a living, you have to get one of the top 5 accredited certifications in the country. And he was nice enough to write the 5. And I just took one. It was called the American Council on Exercise. And I started studying for that. And I came across a company called Fitness Together, which I didn't know anything about. But what drew me to them was that it was a private setting. It wasn't a gym. It was a one-on-one.
Right.
And that's how I started my career as a trainer out in Princeton, New Jersey, Fitness Together for 2.5 years. And then I came down here, same company, but then I decided to branch out myself after my franchise agreement expired.
Right. Well, that's quite a story.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Frank, for sitting down and talking with us. It was fantastic to learn all about this business.
It was a pleasure. If you'd like any more information on custom-made fitness, you could contact me at area code 757-345-2246 or visit our Facebook, Custom Made Fitness.
And be sure and check us out, What's Up Williamsburg, on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And be sure that you hit the subscribe button on YouTube so that you can find out about these awesome businesses in Williamsburg and we can tell you, what's up, Williamsburg?